It was true that gift horses did appear on worlds that were dying. They would appear like a spark in the curdling darkness, burn bright and vanish again. And sometimes, just sometimes, they lit a fire. Water. Here her mind never snagged. There was nothing sharp within the rind. In the Rhine's enclosed ocean, she knew all things. She knew fluid, she knew soft, she knew close and wide and deep and never, ever reaching the surface. She knew white, the whole color, the every color. She saw the no thing curdle like spoiled milk, and the bilious curds were anathema to it. White land, glass sky. This is someone else's story, someone she thought she knew, someone else's body, something evil coming through. White land, white trees. She stood from a center point, and around her the garden sprang alabaster and eggshell and mother's milk and ecru. She was the vegetable land, connected by an umbilicus to her mother, that mighty tree. And in the yolk of the Rhine she drank the memories of a parade of beautiful creatures whose diversity, her mother told her, was because of her. It was for them that she was to do this, and she stood there among the swaying white world and closed her eyes as the denizens of that place leapt upon her and tore her limb from limb. All flesh will be eaten, said her mother. All blood shall be drunk. And she was, again and again, 99 times 9. And each time she saw them there were more of them, all beautiful, all gentle and shining, all loving in their hunger and insistent in their pursuit. Each time she saw them, they were more diverse. In the ocean of the Rhine, she smiled. Who can say when it was that the mirror cracked? Who can say when it was that the white looked up for the first time? Her mother and her mother's mothers and sisters had all told her that all was a womb, and the white land its shell. Then above them was the mirror that would one day show the waking eye the reflection of its own glory, when at last it became time. And that one of her sisters themselves would be the one to look back into that eye and sing. Her mothers had never told her much of the mirror above. It was a thing so ubiquitous as to be beyond regard. It was the glass. It just is. She had never told her of there ever supposing to be a crack. In the Rhine, she knew all things, and as the crack sliced through the sky within it, she closed her body tightly around itself. The first war was not a war. It was a rout. It came with the first star to ever light the mirror above. It came with thunderings and lightnings. It came when that star fell screaming to the white ground. It brought separation to the white land, and that severance was red. Red things. Take our histories with you, said her mother to her. Speak them for us, for we cannot speak ourselves. This is someone else's story, those who you never knew. She was not there in the white land. Eden was gone. She was in the Rhine, but she could not escape the memories of her sustaining yoke. She saw them, the red things, swarming, boiling out of the very wind, blood from the air, screams in the ear. She saw them in their impossible multitudes, only made possible by the stupendous fecundity of Eden's primordial flesh. All flesh will be eaten, her mother had said. She flinched. The smaller ones attacked the trees and the ground, and far ahead of the eye of her memory, the sky split open and something frothy and dripping fell in and formed a shape, a primitive claw which ripped up a section of Eden's silver earth and hauled it out. The mother trees had never known death, and so it was red that was the first color to be seen on the meadows of Eden, and it was force that was the first change to befall its children. The first war was not a war. It was a rape. The virgin multitudes, all of them feminine or neuter, being driven headlong. The larger things that fed on the smaller things, that fed on everything, bounded after Eden's every citizen, Things with too many legs and badly formed claws that made up for in number what they lost in efficiency. No eyes and too many mouths. You are a gift horse, her mother had said. You are the conduit to the eye. We are the maw trees. We are those which were many and first. And though I am your mother, I am my mother and my sister and my land. And our roots did find the reaches of Eden's shores. And my roots have drank the light from the glasslands. I am the water bringer. And in the oak of the Rhine, where she knew all things, she knew it was true. The only water of Eden was the sap of the sisters, those beings which the humans who came on the heel of the Morford would call in their ignorance the tree of knowledge, the tree of life, as if there were only one, and they would be right and wrong, as humans in everything that came at the beginning of the Second War would always find themselves being. I am your mother, and I am a survivor of the First War. Never forget, my child, that when the Morford appears, the skies scream. Some say that it is God screaming as he descends from the up, as once the whole of Eden screamed. Others say it is the many-shaped himself screaming, screaming from the pain of making the journey from the out to the in. His road is his bloodstream, his vehicle his bones. Some say the Morford must tunnel through his own heart to reach the inner eye, and that this is why, when encountered, he is so cruel. The First War was not a war, it was a slaughter. But the First War was not over swiftly. God is huge, and the sisters of the water spoke always with one another. Always the screams of those lost rang round the wide land, and those who were on the other side heard. Though the First War began without a fight, it would not end without one. I am your mother, girl, and you will listen to me. Not even when the stallions beat back the Morford and the wrong father pulled himself into a single, terrible man shape to deliver the blow that shattered Eden like glass and ended both the First War and the innocence of the glasslands in a riot of colors and horror. Not even when the breaking tore me from the arms of my sisters, my mothers, and grandmothers, and left me alone. I am your mother, and you will listen to me. The fighting is still happening. The First War is over. The Second War is done. You are a child of the Third War, and the fighting has never ceased. My children were especially hunted by the Morford. My daughters died by the multitudes under their assault, and that was when Eden was whole. Your flesh quickens them, and the evil that they can do to the sleeping eye is magnified. Legion are their shapes, the Morford. Your heart is their prize. You must keep running, my beautiful daughter. You must learn to fight, my beautiful daughter. The wars cannot end unless we fight. We can never again know the white land unless you, my beautiful daughter, win. Much of this will fade into the halls of your sleep. Much of this will recede into dusty memory like Eden itself. But you are my daughter, and you have listened. Gather hounds to hunt you that you might heal and I rebuild you. Stay ahead of the dogs. Beware the wiles of evil human. You need not go looking for the Third War. It will find you. It will find you. Even God has predators now.